The news desk has the details.
GreenPack was founded in 2002 as a one-man startup with an initial loan of $30,000 from Spring Singapore. And 11 years on, the Small Medium Enterprise, or SME, is enjoying an annual turnover of $70 million. The firm produces packaging for industrial products. These include medical equipment such as brain surgery microscopes. GreenPack cuts down on the use of materials like styrofoam and cardboard. It's not only environmentally friendly, but it also reduces freight costs for clients due to a lighter weight. Founder Susan Chong believes firmly in going green. She explains why it's increasingly important in the corporate world.
Moving forward, green has become an important element because for many of the corporations, they're also under a lot of pressure that they have to do a CSR report. And part of the policies that they're looking at is how to green the environment. Because the global warming and also with all this haze, we're actually looking at how to help them to go green and yet achieve bottom line cost saving.
These principles are also reflected in the construction of its new building. The 200,000 square feet building is the first in Singapore to quantify its carbon footprint during the construction and operation phase. That's not all. GreenPack's office, which sits on the 4th floor, is a zero-energy office. Solar panels generate over 500,000 kilowatt-hour per year of energy, and that's enough to power the entire GreenPack office and 30% of the 4-story building. Noting the success of GreenPack, Mr. Tharman encouraged other SMEs to utilize government loans and follow in its footsteps. This story was filed by Valerie Koh.
Turning now to the markets. In New York, the Dow Jones declined 2 points to 15,372. The Nasdaq climbed 24 points to 3863. Over in London, the FTSE 100 increased by 4 points to 6576. And that is the news on 938 Live. Many thanks to our editor this hour, Deborah Lee. I'm Bharati Jagdish. Thanks for joining me.
938 Live gets you talking.
And now, the LTA traffic news.
At this point, we're seeing a vehicle breakdown on the KPE towards ECP after Airport Road entrance. Another one on the PIE towards Jurong before Clementi Avenue 6. And a vehicle broken down as well on the TPE towards PIE after the KPE exit. Please be cautious as you head out this morning. We're also seeing heavy traffic on the BKE towards PIE before the PIE exit.
Here's a message from the LTA.
You play an important part in road safety. Always slow down. Look out and give way to pedestrians at zebra crossings.
The LTA traffic news is supported by King Coil.
Protect your mattress and pillows from stains and unwanted moisture. Keep your sleep zone dry, hygienic and free from bed bugs, mold and allergens with King Coil's American trusted brand Protector Bed Waterproof Protector. Available at all department stores.
938 Live. 938 Live gets you talking. Health Bite on 938 Live.
Brought to you by H2O Life Source. Good life begins with water. Have you been thinking about going vegetarian for health reasons? Lots of people are drawn to vegetarianism by all sorts of motives. Some of us want to live healthier lives or do our part to reduce pollution. Others have made the switch because of a want to preserve Earth's natural resources. Whatever it is, there's an abundance of scientific research demonstrating the health and environmental benefits of a plant-based diet. I'll admit it's hard to go meat-free. It absolutely is. So why not try and start small? Maybe one meal a week first. Well, I've got a great vegetarian recipe to share with you, shared by someone I think you'll be familiar with. Her name is Lisa Oz. She is the wife of TV doctor Dr. Oz, and she's a well-known celebrity cook, so to speak. It's a quinoa with vegetables and herbs. You can serve it as a side dish or even on its own for a light meal. Plus, quinoa is an excellent source of protein for vegetarians and meat eaters too. You'll need 1 cup of quinoa, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a small red onion, 2 cloves of garlic minced, a medium cucumber all chopped up, 3 carrots peeled and chopped, 2 teaspoons of some fresh thyme or oregano, a quarter teaspoon of some red pepper flakes, ground black pepper, and about a tablespoon of some chopped fresh chives. You can see there's a lot of herbs and spices and flavoring. It's all natural here, and it's so easy to prepare. Just rinse your quinoa in a strainer and then bring it to boil in about 2 cups of water and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Cover and reduce heat and simmer that until the quinoa absorbs the water. It'll take about 10 to 15 minutes. It's like cooking rice on the stove, pretty much. Then in your pan, you want to heat the remainder of the oil. Add everything else. The onions, cook until those are soft and translucent. Raise your heat to medium-high and then add the garlic, zucchini, carrots, thyme or oregano, and the red pepper flakes and saute everything, stirring frequently until your veggies are tender and golden around the edges, not black and burnt. Okay, 8 to 10 minutes is all you'll need. Season it off with that 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt and black pepper, and then in a large bowl, you just mix it all together. The quinoa, the vegetables, and some fresh chives to serve. There you go, a freshly vegetarian quinoa with vegetables and herbs. Now chew on this yummy health bite. I'm Daniel Martin for 938 Live.
Brought to you by H2O Life Source, Korea's #1 KYK alkaline water. Change your water, change your life. Call 8100-6600.
All things entertainment.
And the Oscar goes to...
And the Emmy goes to...
And the Grammy goes to...
Your favorite stars.
Hi, this is Chin Han from the HBO series Serangoon Road.
Hi, this is John Chan and you're listening to 938 Live.
And the latest news.
Trending today, a provocative, controversial, even offensive performance at the MTV Video Music Awards has everyone talking. This time, though, it's not Madonna, it's not Britney Spears, it is Miley Cyrus who's exposing, you could say, a side of herself we've never seen before.
Check our website for broadcast times. cinemsn.com/938live. That's Showbiz on 938 Live. We get you talking.
938 Live. 938 Live gets you talking. 938 Live gets you talking with The Breakfast Club.
Now, here's one way of thinking about things differently. Instead of focusing on how it's impossible for visually impaired individuals, for instance, to work in jobs that require visual acuity, why not create employment opportunities that allow them to tap on their other strengths, such as their keen sense of smell, taste, and hearing? They could do jobs such as being food tasters, or even audio engineers, or perfumers. Well, the Global Social Innovators Forum aims to influence you to rethink your mindset, attitude, and approach in making the world more inclusive and sustainable. It's a signature event organized annually by the Social Innovation Park, Singapore's first non-profit organization to champion social enterprise and social innovation since 2006. Now, the forum and festival, it's actually 2 components. We've got the GSI, the Global Social Innovation Forum, from 7th to 8th November at the Star Vista, Singapore, and the GSI Festival, the Global Social Innovators Festival, from the 9th to the 10th of November at various locations in Singapore. We're going to be telling you this morning how you can get involved as business people or simply as a member of the Singapore community. Joining me today are Leah Tan. She is VP of Institutional Banking, the Institutional Banking Group at DBS. She's been involved with GSIF 2012 and other social enterprise activities over the years as well. Roger Wang is Managing Director of Essential Werkz, which is the official event agency. He too has engaged in social enterprise and charity movements over the years. Thank you guys for joining me today.
Hi, very good morning.
Now, first of all, the Global Social Innovators Forum, IC, aims to influence people to rethink their mindsets, their attitudes, their approach in making the world more inclusive and sustainable. That's what the material I've got says. But let's talk about some specifics here. What exactly are you trying to get people to think differently about? Let's start with you, Roger.
All right. Well, the theme for this year is centered around inclusive innovation, in that the focus will be on trusted leadership, business, and society. So, well, as trust is the very fundamental of human values, it actually underlies all relationship within the society itself. So therefore, some of the recent outcoming, like the Arab Springs and even the Snowden saga, trust has diminished to a certain extent. So we find that this year the theme it's revolved around building trust within the 3 sectors, namely the public, the people, and the private sectors.
Okay, now the fact is that you mentioned a few examples that happened overseas, Snowden, so on and so forth. Locally, though, what context are we really talking about when it comes to trust issues?
We are actually addressing the fundamentals of our society network. Without trust, in fact, a lot of organizations will suffer to a certain extent in terms of monetary, in terms of time and effort spent in building this trust. So therefore, it couldn't have been more timely at this time where we as Singaporeans will need to address the issues more in depth. And this platform, this forum allows us to explore possibilities and ways that we can actually measure trust to a certain level. All right. So we certainly hope that we have more of you to come for our forum, and during this forum itself is where you will be able to find out more on how we can actually address in depth on trusted issues.
Well, when talking about trust, immediately I think of in the micro environment how employers sometimes don't trust their employees, even when it comes to, say, taking leave or having flexi work arrangements and things like that. So it's in every facet of our life, so to speak. Some people face trust issues on a daily basis at work. Leah, perhaps you could jump in here. What would you say is the main thrust of all of this? Because it goes even beyond trust. We're talking here about social entrepreneurship and innovation as well.
Okay, for the bank, we actually have been very conscious and committed in giving back to this community we operate our businesses in. In fact, in 2010, we have already adopted social entrepreneurship as our bank corporate CSR program. It's bank-wide across our 6 regional markets, because we believe that social enterprises offer sustainable solutions to some of the issues in our communities. And one particular model of social enterprises which we think is very relevant is that it employs the underprivileged in the society, train them, impart them skills, and employ them to work in their organizations. So by so doing, you actually give them a source of revenue, you bring them back to the regular society, and as well as you give them a sense of dignity. So the bank, what we can do is to offer banking solutions at discounted prices, and some even for free. We call it our social enterprise banking package. So many social enterprises actually benefited from this package, but we also understand that to further promote the development of the social entrepreneurship, we need to partner key players in the SE ecosystem. We cannot work alone by ourselves. So that's where we feel that Social Innovation Park, SIP, is a pioneer and key player in this space, and they promote global social entrepreneurship. And we actually have been a corporate sponsor for GSIF, the forum, since 2007. Our involvement is beyond just the wallet sponsorship. In the past, we have also been involved in our other ways, such as we have developed a very simple financial toolkit for the social enterprises who are startup. So
here's the thing, though. I mean, the fact that you speak of a financial toolkit, so on and so forth, I think we have to debunk the myth or the perception that social enterprises tend not to be very profitable. Profit is a thrust as well, isn't it? Is a major focus as well. Not only do you have to have great business practices and do all of those things that social enterprises are expected to do, for instance, give the underprivileged a chance to make some money, make a living, you also have to deliver on the profit aspect of it, don't you? Perhaps, Roger, you could jump in here.
Okay, well, there's certainly many ways in terms of measuring profit. It doesn't have to come in terms of monetary value. It can come in as a form of gaining acceptance by the society from the organizational part. So, to me, at least for our organization, we find that by giving back to the society, you are able to gain more acceptance by them. So in this way, we build trust. So once trust is being built, then there are many things that we can do in terms of channeling our messages to them in a more direct manner. So so to us, I think being trusted organization, it's the utmost important in our current climate right now.
How do you hope to bring all of this about? Because we can sit here and talk about trust issues and social enterprises and how they can be helped all day. But what about action? How do you hope to get people in the community thinking about these things and actually doing something about them, Leah?
Okay, I think this probably based on my past experience of attending GSIF. I've been attending GSIF since 2008. And so far, I feel that SIP is very good in selecting the topic, and it's obvious that the trust topic is the hot topic. And in the past, topics like inclusiveness, sustainability are very, very key topics that are close to the hearts of the people. So I think the topics itself will draw the crowd. And secondly, they are very important to me is that they are very good in getting very top-notch speakers. The speakers from the past is like including Hollywood stars. Jet Li was there in 2008, and then you have a CEO of large corporates and very accomplished professionals in academic fields and varied fields.
Okay, so how does all of this actually prompt action on the ground?
Okay, I think in terms of the format, right, there is of course the high level plenary discussion by the top minds, and after that there will be opportunities in terms of breakup groups. That's where the real exchange of ideas and passion takes place, because when I talk to the participants and the delegates, right, they're all very passionate about wanting to do their fair bit to build a better society. And
what sort of impact have you seen in the past from previous festivals and forums?
Okay,
real impact on the ground.
Okay, what I see has what has happened is partnership and collaborations. Because when you go to a forum like that, you meet new people, new faces, and new ideas. And when a few people get together to say that, oh, I have this that you do not have, but you need this, and we have an exchange, like a barter trade, but we do it in a way that is not really for ourselves, but for a common cause. So that's where we bring ourselves together. There's alignment, and there's real partnership that happens. So out of this forum, we actually have, as a bank, we do have a little bit of connections in terms of our big base of customer. So there are certain things that we can influence our customer to do for the less fortunate companies.
Give me
like
some examples, some specific examples of what specific change you've actually seen happen on the ground as a result of all these discussions.
Okay, I probably might not be able to mention the specific names,
Sure, no problem.
But a simple example is F&B want to look for a space in popular malls near MRT, crowded places and all this thing, and of course it's difficult for SME to have access to certain things, and then for us we do know of customers who operate malls, for example, and we connect them. We ask for permission, will you be willing and able to help this F&B boss? And the answer is yes, we are very happy that they are very willing, and then we bring them out together. And actually they managed to locate a good space, and the restaurant is open.
Right. A social enterprise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So certainly social enterprises might need a little bit of help at the beginning especially, and the plan of course is to get them empowered to stand on their own 2 feet. Stay with us on 938 Live. We'll be finding out more about how you can get involved as an individual and as a business person in the Global Social Innovators Forum and Festival. Stay with us on 938 Live.
938 Live.
938 Live. Plow through work. Sweat on my brow, sweat on my brow.
Is the office mundane and stressful somehow? Then stop what you're doing and add some wow. Add sparkle to your office with the Wow range from leading German stationery brand Lights.
Magazine files, punches, staplers, scissors, letter trays, waste bins, storage boxes are now bursting with color.
Mix and match to brighten your day. Wow from Lights. Available at good bookstores and stationery shops.
Now work is really, really wow.
What's going to happen to your money, property, and other possessions after you're gone? Will it go to the people you love? Drawing up wills and creating trust will take care of that. You also need to keep your will in a secure place. That's where Rock Wills comes in. With over 100,000 wills drawn to date, entrust your wishes to the region's leading estate planning company. Call 6221-8633 or visit rockwills.com today. Rock Wills.
Making your wishes come true.
Retrolicious Reunion 2013 coming soon. An epic 80s music extravaganza with Belinda Carlisle, Rick Astley, and Bananarama. Saturday, 19th October, 8 p.m. Fort Canning Park. Tickets at $125 through Cystic. Retrolicious Reunion. Get ready to go retro wild.
And now, the LTA traffic news.
6255-8400. That's Traffic Watch's number. Give them a call if you've got updates. We'll be sure to pass on any information you have. We really appreciate it. At this point, it's heavy on the KJE towards PIE between Woodlands Road exit and the PIE Changi exit. Also, Miss Tan, good morning to you and thank you for calling in with this one. An accident on the KJE towards PIE in lane 2 near Sungai Tengah exit.
The LTA traffic news is supported by King Coil.
Protect your mattress and pillows from stains and unwanted moisture. Keep your sleep zone dry, hygienic and free from bed bugs, mold and allergens with King Coil's American trusted brand Protect-A-Bed Waterproof Protector. Available at all department stores.
938 Live gets you talking. 938 Live gets you talking with The Breakfast Club.
Talking today about how one forum, the Global Social Innovators Forum, can influence you to rethink your mindset, your attitude and approach. It's all about making the world a more inclusive and sustainable place. And it's not just for businesses. Really, anyone can go if you just want your entrenched beliefs totally moved out of kilter. For the better, okay? For the better. If you really want to think out of the box and do better for your community and your business. Now, the Global Social Innovators Forum is happening from the 7th to the 8th of November, and the Global Social Innovators Festival right after that from the 9th to the 10th of November. I'm talking this morning with Leah Tan, VP of the Institutional Banking Group at Local Bank, DBS, and Roger Wang, Managing Director of Essential Werkz, which is the official event agency. Both of them have been engaged in social enterprise and charity movements over the years. Now, guys, tell me more about how the individual can get involved here. Leah, perhaps you could expand on that.
Okay, for us, we actually talk a lot about social enterprises, social entrepreneurship at the bank. So firstly, we want to tell our own folks, our own staff, there's this thing that's happening. So in the past, we have been able to get our colleagues to join us at the forum. We also tell our customers, because that's where we understand the dollar from the corporates will come in to help the
social enterprises.
That's correct.
Right. And members of the public, how can they get involved, Roger?
Well,
the general public.
The general public. They can always look up on either Google GSIF 2013, or they can log on to socialinnovatorsforum.org. So this
what benefit is there to the individual?
Oh, well, as an individual, I guess it offers a platform for you to voice your views. In this year in particular is on trust itself. And
are you just looking at it from the business context, or are we talking about it in the wider community context as well?
I think for us, we can be looking at a three-prong, both on a business community and from a personal perspective. It's from a personal perspective that we are able to drive out to a more macro level on the organizational platform. So in any case, trust can be built on all levels, starting from personal levels right up to business and right up to even at the higher level that is within the community. So this is where it can be addressed on this year's theme, as in trusted leadership in business and society.
How do you convert the unconverted, though? Because I can imagine that people who voluntarily sign up for this are already open to thinking differently, to running their businesses differently, their lives differently as well. What about the people who are closed off? Because I have spoken to some business people who head companies and SMEs who really seem to have serious trust issues and don't mind if these trust issues continue to be perpetuated. For instance, recently when I spoke to our listeners about possibly giving their employees elder care leave, for instance, a lot of them called in to say that I don't trust my employees. I think they will abuse the system. So how do you reach out to people like that who have issues already that are deeply entrenched?
Okay, this is where I think if they were to come in for the forum itself, we have established agencies that actually have come up with certain research methodologies and certain quotients. Just to mention one or two, Edelman being one of them, that they have bring forward a 13 years of trust barometer research So they'll be able to provide some insights on this trust issue.
Do you have any insights yourself at this point? Do you know the results that are notable that people can use as a barometer for their own actions?
There'll be a series of questions that you'll be put through, and from there there'll be a results being delivered on your trust barometers. So this can be quite individual. So my suggestions would be to come for the forum, find out for yourself more. And on top of that, the other agencies, which is McKinsey, will be bringing forward their decades of trust quotient expertise. So come to this forum, join us, and you'll be able to find out more. At the same time, voice out your view on certain issues that you have on trust. Share it with the attendants and some of the experts on the issues. So I believe by doing so, you'll be able to gain more insights.
There seems to be a bit of a focus on creativity as well. For instance, when I first started off the show, I gave this example that I actually got from some of the material surrounding the GSI forum. Instead of focusing on how impossible it might be for visually impaired people to work in jobs that require that visual acuity, why not create opportunities that allow them to tap on other strengths, such as their keen sense of smell, taste, hearing. They can do so many other things, be audio engineers, food tasters, even though they are visually impaired. So how do you hope to actually get people to think creatively about such issues too, Leah, at the forum?
I think one way is to showcase some of the business models used by the social enterprises. I mean, if we patronize F&B, which we all do, you can tell that some organizations like Cafe Professor Braun or things like that, or eating chefs, they actually employ autistic kids for Professor Braun. They train them and then they serve a waiter. And I personally patronize that a few times. I brought my kids, and I also tell my kids who are these big brothers, big sisters, and how are they different from us, and how are we going to make a difference to them. So that is at the personal level of impartation. At the forum, when you showcase your business ideas, the work integration model especially is very tangible for people to understand.
Right. You mentioned a key point. You talk to your kids about these things.
That's correct.
You've got to start young, don't you? Is there room at the forum and festival for younger people to get involved as well? Roger?
Yes, there certainly are. In fact, this forum is open to everyone and anyone. So from teens right up to adults, and right up to the matured adults itself. So certainly we would like to see more of you attending this forum and find out more for yourself.
Okay, here's where you can go and find out more and sign up if you want to. Go to socialinnovatorsforum.org, socialinnovatorsforum.org. Many thanks to Leah Tan from DBS and Roger Wang, Managing Director of Essential Werkz, both of them deeply involved in the Global Social Innovators Forum and Festival happening in November from the 7th to the 10th. Thanks for staying with us.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Mitsubishi Electric StarMax Air Conditioner. Changes for the better. Why is it so important to clean your air filters regularly? Well, clogged filters mean your air conditioner works much harder to pump cold air into the room.